Yo, what's going on? It is Teacher Michael here, and apparently it's very easy to start a podcast. I just did it. I just pushed record, and now I have a podcast. The Teacher Michael Podcast, that's what I'm calling it. The Teacher Michael Podcast. And for those acute listeners out there, you might be saying to yourself, I bet this guy's a teacher. I bet he teaches something. You, my friend, are correct. I am a teacher. I teach ESL online, and that's part of what my podcast is going to be about. If you're not hip to the vernacular, ESL stands for English as a Second Language. So I work for a company that teaches English lessons to students in China. I've been doing that for, 9 months or something like that. Anyway, that is one of the focuses of my podcast. That's not the only thing that this podcast is going to be about. I do other things, and I just said do. It's true. But yes, I do other things. I also enjoy traveling. I'm a puppeteer. I'm a juggler. There's other things that I'm up to, but ESL teaching online is going to be one of the pillars of this podcast. So that's what I'm into. Those are the things that I'm up to, and that's what I'm talking about. So my hope with this podcast is that I'm going to be able to connect with other teachers who are also teaching things online. It doesn't have to be ESL, it doesn't have to be English. I'm happy to connect with other teachers who are teaching other things. I'm just really curious about this new opportunity that's presenting itself, this new lifestyle, this new ability that people have to share their knowledge with people in other parts of the world. This is crazy. It's insane. I'm Canadian. I live on the east coast of Canada. So for me to be living on the east coast of Canada and teaching children in Beijing and Shanghai, I'm teaching them every morning. That's crazy. That would be a ridiculous commute. 20 years ago, can you imagine that commute? You have to get a flight to China from Eastern Canada. No, not my kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just teaching from home. So I'm going to stop rambling. I just wanted to make the first episode. That's what this whole, experiment is all about, just starting. And that's always the hardest part. That's always been the hardest part for me, is just starting something new, starting something difficult or something challenging. And, what I have learned over time, though, is once you start, it's a little bit easier to keep going. So this is it. Episode number 1, the Teacher Michael Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not really sure. I'm still learning about podcasts. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you subscribe or if you just check back next Monday. I'm going to have another episode. You'll figure it out. You're a smart person. So that's it. Thank you for listening to episode number 1 of the Teacher Michael Podcast. Until next time, peace and love.